The forest at the edge of Millbrook had always held a strange allure for the town's kids. Rumors whispered of the Dark Grove, a stretch of twisted trees cloaked in perpetual shadow. It was said that strange creatures lurked there, beings born from nightmares and old curses. No one dared venture deep enough to find out if the whispers were true, but for Lila and her friends, curiosity was a bigger pull than fear. It started on a chilly October evening when the air was thick with fog. Lila, her brother Max, Emma, and Jake had grown tired of the usual haunted house tales and decided to test the legends. Armed only with flashlights and a sense of reckless adventure, they pushed through the tangled undergrowth, stepping cautiously into the dark grove. The trees loomed tall overhead, their gnarled branches like grasping claws. The wind whispered strange, unrecognizable language as they moved deeper, and an unnatural silence settled over them. Halfway in, they noticed a faint glow emanating from a small clearing ahead. Entranced, they approached cautiously. In the center of the clearing sat a crooked figure, a creature with hollow eyes and skin that seemed to shimmer like cracked porcelain. It resembled no animal they knew. Its limbs were elongated, and its face was twisted in a quiet, haunting smile. The creature's presence was both horrifying and mesmerizing, as if it was waiting for them. Suddenly, the creature's eyes burst open, revealing glowing orbs that seemed to drill into their own. The air turned icy, and a dark whisper flooded their minds, an unintelligible chorus of voices promising secrets and power if they stayed. Emma's voice trembled, "We should leave, now." But the creature moved faster than they could react, stretching out a trembling hand. Its fingers, banged and clawed, brushed against Lila's arm with an inexplicable coldness. Instantly, her vision blurred, and she felt a sharp chill seep into her bones. A cold dread washed over her, drowning her in memories. Visions of a cursed past, of souls trapped in eternal unrest, all tied to this cursed creature. The others saw her shudder and scream, but when they reached out, her body was still, eyes wide open. A sudden gust of wind threw them back, and the creature dissolved into a puff of shadow, leaving behind a haunting silence and a sense of foreboding. Later, in the safety of Max's room, they examined Lila, who was trembling and staring blankly ahead. Her eyes seemed distant, haunted. She mumbled about voices, about being chosen, about being cursed. Over the next few days, strange things began happening. Lila would wake up in the middle of the night, whispering in a language she couldn't remember learning. Shadows flickered at the corners of the room, and strange symbols appeared scrawled on her walls, glowing faintly in the dark. The kids knew somehow that confronting the creature had awakened an ancient evil. That entity, born from a long-forgotten curse etched into the land itself, had latched onto Lila, promising darkness and despair. They realized the creature, the cursed guardian of the Dark Grove, was not just a myth, but a trap designed to ensnare the unwary and feed on their fear. Desperate, they sought help from the old town librarian, Ms. Hardwick, who had studied local legends for decades. She confirmed their fears. The creature was a remnant of an ancient curse when the land was cursed for a terrible deed long ago. It was the curse's living embodiment, forever tethered to the cursed forest, waiting for souls like theirs to stumble into its trap. Realizing they couldn't simply run away, they decided to find the source of the curse, an ancient stone altar deep in the grove, where the creature had been summoned centuries ago. If they could destroy it, maybe they could free themselves, but at a terrible risk. As night fell once again, the children entered the dark grove amidst swirling fog and oppressive silence. They followed Ms. Hardwick's instructions, retracing the faint symbols they'd seen scrawled on Lila's walls, leading them to the altar, a brutal stone structure covered in carvings and red moss. Shadows writhed across its surface, whispering secrets that made their skin crawl. With trembling hands, Max took a pickaxe from his backpack and, together with the others, began chipping away at the altar. The ground trembled as the creature, sensing their intention, appeared again, more monstrous and furious than before, its hollow eyes blazing with malice. "Stop," it hissed, voice echoing like 1,000 whispers. "You shall not undo what is bound. We are forever tied." But the children pressed on, and at last, with a final blow, the altar shattered into pieces. A deafening scream erupted from the creature, a cry of rage and despair, before it dissolved into a cloud of ash and shadow. Silence fell, heavier than before, and the oppressive presence lifted even as the first rays of dawn pierced the gloom. Lila suddenly blinked, her eyes clearing, and she looked around with relief. The dark grove was quiet once more, but the scar of its curse lingered. The forest seemed a little less menacing, but the kids knew better than to forget what they'd seen. The curse was broken, yes, but an understanding grew. Some evil was best left undisturbed. And on quiet nights, when the wind whispers through Millbrook, some say you can still hear faint echoes from the dark grove. Whispers of the creature's wrath and hope that no one else ever falls into its trap again.